DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. The All-Star teams are out, PK.
Yeah, all right.
No All-Star for Keyonte George and Lauri Markkanen. Did they deserve to make it? Tony says short answer, yes. But it's more about what sells tickets and gets people to watch, even if it's going to be the worst basketball ever played.
I don't think that's it.
I think it's the fact that the Utah Jazz have not won very many games this year.
I think that's it for guys like LeBron. But the Aviata kid from Portland, I don't think that's it. They've had a better season. And I would be okay with Markkanen making it on one condition.
And what is that?
That they list Lauri Markkanen in the box score and then in parentheses, rest.
Nice. Go to the All-Star game, put your feet up. Made it? Here's your bonus. Most guys have something built in, right? Here's your bonus. Now.
He's missed 14 games.
Take it easy.
He's on track. But when they get good, and I believe it's a when, not an if, he's going to have the freshest legs of anybody relative to his age.
I talked to Locke about that whole minutes thing. 25,000, 30,000, 35,000 minutes where you start to run down.
He sits out a lot.
He's not piling up the minutes.
Yeah. And I think for these guys, since the future is going to be good at some point here, hopefully sooner rather than later, to make sure they're at the premium condition ready to go when it is go time to win, I think they need to have lazy boys along the sidelines.
Just feet up.
Yeah.
Can't get out of the way if someone comes crashing into you.
And then they have one of those people dressed in the waitress gear and come and
bringing them
drink.
beverages and stuff. They come over to the big old tray. There's a Gatorade bottle on it.
Yeah. And then you see, have some vegetables, carrots and stuff. So, eating healthy. Make a mockery of it. They're sort of, not they exclusively, but the system is made a mockery of. So extend it even beyond that.
Thomas is with you. He says, honestly, Lowry's has missed too many games, and now they're taking turns playing and, quote, resting. So Thomas isn't upset by the lack of all-star berths at all.
I think the most important thing is that you can argue strongly that both of these guys, when they play, are all-star caliber. And that bodes well for the franchise. I mean, Jamal Murray didn't make it until this year.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say he's been all-star caliber for a long time, including when he was clutch when they won a championship.
Right.
And for whatever reason, didn't pick him till this year. But be all-star caliber.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Whether somebody votes you or there's a popularity contest. Didn't Yao Ming was dominating every year?
Because everybody in China voted, he's in.
Yeah. Right, and he was a fine player.
Fortunately, he was a really good player when he was healthy. He had some health issues. But when he was healthy, so it didn't make a big mockery of it. But it was comical to see how many votes he got.
Right. Right, and they're voting for one of their own, so be it. But I think the most important thing is that they're having outstanding seasons. Markkanen, you can argue, is having the best season. He's just, the situation is never going to allow him to be anything close to an Iron Man. Because they're going to sit him as much as because he gets in the way of losing.
I do think because you and I have talked about this both on the air and off the air, I think the interesting thing will be, I don't think he's missed all these games these last 4 years because he's injury prone and been hurt. I think it's clearly been engineered. And yet at the same time, he's never played a full season. So will his body hold up? And we've seen a lot of bigger guys have injuries. Will his body hold up to the pounding? And it'll be interesting when they're trying to win what they consider a full season because even on winning teams, guys still get rested. So I don't think they're ever going to ask him to play 82 games. I don't know if they're going to ask him to play 75.
Well, the most he ever played was his rookie year, 68.
Right. He's never been a 70-game guy.
Last year was an absolute joke, 47.
Yeah. Where's he going to end up this year? Closer to 47 than 66 or 68.
Well, playing 36, that would mean 11 away. And what have they got, 30 games to go? Or 32 games?
Yeah.
They're right at the 50
right.
mark.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he plays half of them.
So how many has he played already?
He's played 36.
Okay. So he gets to 52.
So he's missed 14 because they're right at the 50 mark.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll see. It will be interesting to see if his body really does hold up and what they consider full-time as far as, limiting minutes in a game.
Certainly it holds up in the international competition.
Yeah.
Now, it's not the NBA,
Right.
and it's not all this travel, and it's not a slew of games
Right.
for a long period
You tend
of time.
to go somewhere and then play in that city for
Yeah.
these international tournaments.
Right, and there's a bunch of games, but it's compacted.
And they're 40-minute games, not 48.
An NBA season is forever. But they're going to need him.
Yeah.
He's going to have to stop with these in the 60s. You're going to have to get in the 70s for him to do what he's capable of doing, which is play at an extremely high level, and for the team to get where it wants to go, he's going to have to play. And it's just going to have to. And no more of this sickness and illness and rest. And a lot of it is the situation. But my feeling is, maybe it's just more of a feeling because I don't really have much of a track record to go on, is that he's going to play in the 70s.
I hope so.
In
Because
today's world, that's about all you can ask.
75 is the new 82.
I would say 70. Yeah. And I just called up his thing, his career, and was 1920. So he goes 68 his first season, which is 17-18, and then it drops down to 51-50-26.
So the 51 was there was a significant injury there. That was a full season. The next 2 years weren't full seasons. They were the COVID impacted ones. And I don't think they played 82 coming out of it when they had to start the season late. I know they didn't play 82 when they went to the bubble.
Okay, but then 21-22 is back to 61.
Yes.
First season here, 66. Second season, 55. Third season, 47.
I know.
Those are full seasons.
Yep. So that comes back to the question. There were injuries early. Will there be an injury when they try to play him full time? Or is this sitting him on purpose, protected him from that because his body gets more rest because they're just naturally we might win tonight?
I don't know. What makes him so different from the other guys when they were playing 82?
I mean, some of the other big guys do break down. I mean, some big guys do, some don't. But
I mean, he's big in height.
I know. He's not as thick as, say, Embiid.
He's
Embiid's
not demanding the ball in the low post.
Embiid and Zion are carrying more weight. And that's more force on the joints with every, trip up and down the court.
And he's essentially a perimeter player.
They put him inside a little more, but playing inside even now doesn't mean what it used to mean. There aren't as many bodies.
And George, you'd have to think at some point the answer is going to be yes. Right now, the answer is going to be yes. He will be on an all-star team. Now, I can hear all the cynics. Sure, in 5 years, he'll be on the Eastern Conference all-star team.
They're the cynics.
But I'm not going to go down that road.
Not for 5 years. We'll see when we get there. Don't borrow trouble from the future.
Well,
it may well be out there. Who the heck knows?
I'm going to
but
believe
there's no point in worrying about that now.
That Keyonte George is going to be fine here. Until I see and hear otherwise, that he's going to recognize I'm playing in a first-class organization with an excellent coach, and they're providing me with everything I need, and I'm making enormous money. And he's from Texas, right?
He is.
And so they got a guy who's around the team. I don't know if he has a formal spot, but he's from Texas. And he wanted out.
Referring to D. Will.
And so, hey, kid, come over here.
Let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
Here's how it is around the lake.
Yeah.
If you don't believe me, go talk to that guy. And then go talk to Boozer.
We're Texas guys here.
Yeah.
And so I know what you're going through because I went through it myself. And don't mess with good, man. And if you got a good thing going, and maybe I'll be proved wrong, which won't be the last time. But I'm going to freaking believe that he's going to see all things and realize this is a good spot to be in, and we're winning. And I want to be a legend for somebody. And you can, and unless you're LeBron you can bounce around, but how many of those guys can really bounce around and be? Is Kevin Durant?
I was about to
going
bring
to
him
be
up.
a legend? Is Russell Westbrook going to be a legend? Who's he going to be with? What is your identifiable team?
I think Durant is big enough to be a legend of the game, but I don't think he's a legend in any city he played in.
Right.
Which is two different things. Where when you walk into a building, the place goes wild, which we've seen with, I don't even know how many Jazz players. There's just so many. A lot of them who didn't play their whole career here.
No, I don't think you have
get
to.
very warm welcomes.
But when you're going at your best, unless they don't want you, college baseball starts up in a couple of weeks. Right? I think softball starts coming up a week earlier. Right? It's right around the corner. And so yesterday they had a softball game involving some Arizona State alumni. Mm-hmm. And they got a lot of guys in the pros, obviously. And then they had some celebs. You know who got the biggest roar?
Who?
You know.
Barry Bonds.
He wasn't there. Cam Scatterbo.
Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't know they brought back all sports for the baseball. I thought
It's some celebs.
Okay.
Beyond the...
Yeah.
And so he is recovering from the surgery. He played second base. I saw a video of him, fielded it flawlessly.
Because he's an athlete.
But he didn't run. Mm-hmm. So he'd hit, and then the guy would run. Right? Well, one time the guy didn't have to run because Scatterbo hit it over the fence.
T-ball for him.
But wouldn't you want to be that?
Have the place where you go back and they cheer you.
Yeah, forever. Forever. And you're going to go chase something that you already got?
Well, a lot of people have done it.
Does that make any sense?
It didn't it didn't to me at the time, but you also could feel like this is going to happen, Because you and I could sit here, being much older, right, and think, don't do it. This is good. And yet, multiple players.
But I believe in the sophistication of today's athlete.
There's no doubt about it. And I think that, and I've had a couple people say this to me too, they're not only more sophisticated from a business sense, they're more emotionally sophisticated than we were at that age. And
I believe
they're forced to grow up. The professional system gets them for sure somewhere around 12, 14, certainly by 16. But depending on who you are and how you develop, it gets you before that. So there's just a certain amount of savvy. You've been around and been through it, and you've changed teams, and you've played for different people, mm-hmm. and you've had to make friends with new guys on the team who you didn't know when you walked into the gym because you're changing AAU teams and you're going to international tournaments. Yeah, it's a different deal.
That's why amid all the constant losing and the multiple-year constant losing, I think there's a foundation. To what degree can be competitive remains to be seen. But I think they already have a foundation that allows them to be plus 500. And I'm one of these guys.
So now I hear Tim Lacombe saying, so you agree with me?
Well, I'm not saying necessarily next season.
Okay. Because you're going down the road, Tim goes.
He says, and I'm fine going down that road.
Tim's like, there's stuff in place here that isn't completely obvious.
Right. I agree.
And I was up there the other night talking about the lack of defense in whatever game it was. It was atrocious. And he's like, when you make a meeting optional just to turn it into the workplace, don't 80 or 90% of the people not show up? It was optional. He says, well, they're trying to lose, and defense becomes optional. You think guys are really going to lay it on the line? Now, they have a couple of dreadful performances, and the coaches make a bigger issue of it. And we see Bryce Sensabaugh, who is not the best defender on the team and is not the second best defender, is not the third best, but he gave up his body and got run over and took a charge.
And before we go to break, let me say, in my work world, for me, nothing was ever optional.
And that's why you're the 10 or 20%.
Nothing.
But have you ever been to meetings that you went to, even though it wasn't convenient? And don't lie, because I know the answer to this question. And then you look up and you're like, wait, so-and-so isn't here.
Yeah,
so-and-so isn't there.
We had a Teams meeting and some of us had already known, I'd already known, to tell us about Hans leaving. You and I were on the call. Do you know anybody who wasn't, Yak?
Yeah, certain
I'm just saying. Hey, yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah.
Sniggledorf.
Quote unquote, our leader.
Oh, now it's quote unquote. Okay.
Yeah, it is quote unquote. Depends on what's useful in the moment, yeah.
You and me, we were there.
We were there.
Yeah.
Bright and early.
No, I'm not going to lie. I did think we were getting punked originally, but that's a story for another day.
What do you mean we're getting punked?
They're like, hey, Hans Olsen is leaving. I thought it was just a punchline to kind of open
Oh,
the
you did?
meeting.
Oh.
I'm not going to lie.
You were waiting for the joke?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they're serious. He's actually going.
And nobody's actually laughing. Oh, wait. Anyways.
Now, he didn't need to be there because I already told him.
Well, you should have told me. Come on now.
Well, I was
DJ
told
PK.
not to tell.
So I only told
So
one
I'm going to
fellow.
tell one person.
But this dude's a steel trap.
Fair enough. That's a
I
good
trust
point.
him with my life when it comes to that.
No, I agree with you on that.
Thanks to my grandmother for teaching me a lesson when I was 4. DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.